Hello, hello. Welcome to 365 Days with a Manifestor. This is day 13, lucky 13. I decided today that there's been some question in my mind on how to do this, and I've heard it a couple times about people asking the whole informing bit for manifestors. What is it? So I figured I would again do a little read aloud from the Human Design textbook, basically. It's a basic textbook. Okay, so I'm going to read about the Manifestor strategy of informing. Okay, so it says Manifestor strategy is to inform. So manifestors have a long-standing reputation of posing a threat to order and stability. Their independence and closed, repelling aura, which literally pushes their energy outward, is often experienced and misinterpreted by others as the manifestor's need to take control or be in charge of the situation. Okay, I'm going to stop again. I do this when I read processing. So I don't know, I'm sure you guys out there who are manifestors have had this experience where oftentimes your initiation, your efforts are misunderstood at first without there being proper communication. So that's why it just happens to us. It's not anyone's fault. It's just a thing that happens without us using our strategy appropriately. So let's figure out how to do that. Okay. So people often feel ignored or run over by out of control manifestors and tend therefore to fear them. Conversely, manifestors grow up conditioned by the fear of being controlled and rebel by doing the opposite of what is healthy for them. All right. The manifestor's repelling aura causes other auras to contract, putting people in a defensive or protective mode, which is to say that most interpersonal confusion or misunderstanding between types is set up energetically, far below one's level of consciousness, before verbal communication is even initiated. I'm going to read that again, all right? So, interpersonal confusion and misunderstanding between types is set up energetically, far below one's level of consciousness, before verbal communication is even initiated. Let that sink in for a second. People are reacting to our presence without a word being spoken. That's a really important thing to take away from this. The manifestor's simple strategy to inform breaks through this highly charged auric interaction and effectively opens the way to clear, productive, and peaceful communication. Informing is the only way manifestors find the freedom from resistance that they need in order to manifest. Technically, manifestors need to inform after they have made a decision, but before they act on it, or at least as they are acting on it. Okay, so I'm going to read that one more time too, because this is important. Manifestors need to inform after they have made a decision, but before they act on it, or at least, I'm sorry, my battery thing was saying, or at least as they are acting on it, okay? Additionally, when you decide, or when they decide not to do something any longer, they must inform about that too. So when you change your mind or do something else, you have to inform also. Though informing is far from pleasant and natural for a manifestor, life is so much easier when they learn to do it, and do it well. It is only by informing that they remove resistance from their path and put others at ease aurically, energetically, right? Without being either passive or aggressive. As a child, informing takes the form of learning politeness and asking permission. From an early age, however, manifestors often choose not to ask for permission or inform, either because it is too much of a bother, or because they think that by keeping what they are going to do a secret, they can avoid being rejected or controlled. I know that sounds familiar to many of us. Informing becomes an acceptable, practical part of the decision-making process when manifestors understand and embrace the impact they have on others. Manifestors do not need people in the same way the other types do, and generally are not concerned about how others perceive them. They are genuinely surprised to learn that they have an impact at all. Truth. Okay, so much truth in that statement. Becoming aware of the many ways their impending decision will affect others is the first step of bridging relations and releasing their full initiating power. We have to inform first before we initiate. As manifestors learn to inform before they act, to prepare people for how they might be affected by their actions, they will begin to feel a new kind of support and receptivity from others. When resistance is no longer an issue, anger subsides and peace prevails. And manifestors also feel honored and respected when others include and inform them. That's the truth. To put informing an impact into perspective, let's say a manifestor goes to work and mid-morning suddenly begins to see a way out of what had begun to feel like a dead-end job. In a flurry of excitement, with her vision leading her, she packs up her office,